Alright, YouTube, I'm gonna explain. It probably would be better if I could do it during daylight, but for lack of a better term, you guys should just rock out on YouTube and everything else. Guess what? I'm a working man and I can't do that stuff. I can get around to doing stuff for you guys when I get around to doing stuff for you guys, and it's definitely dark by the time I'm able to do it. Maybe by this weekend I can show you the new B spot and everything else. But anyways, I'll show you this. That's my arm. Let's zoom in here. So what occurred was I was stung once. Now, when you look up stuff with bees, it's actually really funny. You can look it up and it says the more you get stung, you can build up an immunity. Also, the more you get stung, the quicker you can die. Meh. Where do you go from that? But anyways, I went through my doctors and emergency doctors and everything else. And I now have a prescription for EpiPen. It is... Check my watch here. Tuesday... come on, watch. Turn it on here. There we go. So we all see that. It's July 29th. In Canada, as of a week ago, an EpiPen was $130. I don't know what that means to anyone else on the planet, but that's what it was for me a week ago. So, everyone who sits there and says how awesome Canadian healthcare is, here's the thing that will stop you from dying. $130. Granted, in the grand scheme of things, $130 is not that much. That being said, I'm really not a big fan of our socialist communist healthcare system. I'm pretty sure I would prefer, with all of my medical stuff, to have dealt with a more American system. But I am way past being able to make that choice. Anyways, guys. So I will show you what has been changed at the pond and everything else. But to talk about how I almost died. So one single sting into the arm. And I went through some stuff with my doctor. And I went, okay, explain it to me. How was this one single sting as detrimental as when I got hit almost 2 years ago with 40 stings, several of which were up my neck? Because, you know, it makes sense when you can't breathe when you get stung along the neck. His biggest thing was location. And I went, well, it was in my arm. He went, well, okay, so maybe duration. Which, let's go on to duration. I'm a dumb farmer. I was working with this beehive. And I went, oh, okay. And I got stung and I went, bitch. ripped her off me, didn't think anything of it. And continued to finish what I needed to do. That being said, I probably should have looked at myself, but I didn't. So what occurred was I finished what I was doing with the beehives, which was stacking new boxes for them to make honey. And then I got back on the lawnmower and continued what I was doing. I was on the lawnmower again and I realized turn my hand. So anyways, right about there in my arm, I realized that stinger is still in me. But again, dumb farmer, pain don't hurt. Oh no, I should pull that out. And I ripped it out. But at that point, it was probably locked into me for a good 5 to 10 minutes. So again, I'm saying this is all my fault. But at that point, I had tried to cut more grass after ripping the sting out of me. I got really itchy, but from the back of my property to the midpoint in my shop, I got ridiculously itchy and started having problems breathing. Now, I was very sweaty. It was very hot. And I will say I did have 2 legal drinks. I did do all sorts of research into this. Alcohol can make it more exacerbated. Not any other baited, just exacerbated. But for the amount of alcohol I consumed in that period of time, that probably wasn't the biggest thing. What probably would have occurred was just the sheer pinpoint placement of the sting into basically directly into a vein. And the duration that I left it without realizing that what seems to cause the main problem. Anyways, guys, what I need you to understand is bees are an awesome thing to work with, but it is still dangerous. And I will hope to explain my problems and try to help you out with your problems with the comments. But anyways, that's the best I can tell you with me almost dying. It was basically placement, duration, and stupidity. That being said, haven't been stung since, so I don't know if I am now just anaphylactically allergic to bee stings. I'm really hoping to not find out again. Although I will say, gonna make a video again, because quite sure I will find out. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This was me almost dying, and I promise I will try to get the next video out where I can show you the new bee tower. And I'll have the new chicken spot and everything else, and we can do some videos on it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.